Hello, Dr. Douglas. I'm really happy to hear you again since our last meeting, and I would like to again tell you that that accident, I think it's already finished, and President again wanted to send you a message that he's sorry. But I see the problem is that we have some power inside our government who really want to make problems between Greece and Ukraine. And of course, that accident was again a big problem. And I would like to tell you that I don't want to this accident again happens. And this is really important to keep in touch between our offices.
No, thank you for this. Let's. I think the best way to manage such incidents is to have open channels of communication. Also, as you know, our Director of Intelligence is in Kiev as we speak. He's having, or was yesterday, he's having meetings with his counterparts. So it's important to have open channels of communication at all levels.
I agree totally, but we have different points of view, because let me say that the problem is Office of President understands the problem, and our Secret Service also understands, but our Ministry of Defense thinks that they are not guilty in that accident. And as I heard from some people in Office of Minister, this accident could happen because our Ministry of Defense is working against Office of President, and this is why I would like to let you know that this accident could again happen in near one of your island, and this is important and crucial to understand that our offices should be in touch.
No, that's a bit scary, to be honest. It's tourist period. There is increased shipping traffic. So it's important. We understand the needs of war on your side. Let's try hard to prevent such an incident happening again. Let's do our best.
Yes, I agree totally. Because I heard recently they would like to again repeat such an operation because they think that it's more important to bomb Russian ships, and this is why they are. I think that they are people of war. They want to create new problems for Russians, but they don't understand that it also causes big problems for our colleagues, our allies, like Greece. This is how they work. As you know, they are working against our office because it's a military people, and they think that their willness is more important than the will of president.
And please keep in mind that we'll have elections in a few months, so an accident of that type could cause very significant problems to the Greek government, and our reaction should an accident happen would be very strong. But again, let me caution here those planning such an act. These are very crowded waters.
Yes.
And any problem any incident that would also affect maritime security and our tourism would cause significant problems in our bilateral relations.
But you also should understand that we have war with Russians. It's military targets.
Maybe you can find a Russian billionaire, although I would be surprised they don't come.
Some billionaires who support Russian military.
They don't come to Greece anymore. They go to Turkey or other places. But again, let me repeat what my Prime Minister said. We understand the needs of war, but we don't want that war to take place in our territory or our waters.
Okay.
So please
I try to convince our Minister of Defense, but he is something like a crazy person of war.
Look, he has to decide if he's not listening to President Zelensky anymore. He needs to decide if damaging one Russian ship is worth losing Greece's support. It's as simple as that.
Yes, I agree with you. Totally agree with you.
Now, the problem is whether he will understand what we are discussing. Please try to explain that as clearly as possible.
He's a big fan of drone deal, and he thinks that it's not big damage, but for us, it's of course, it can lead to something like a military conflict between Ukraine and Greece. This is why I'm so concerned.
I'm now more worried than in the beginning of our conversation, because it looks like there is a rift between the office of the president and the Ministry of Defense, and I hope they do understand the possible consequences. I think it could cause a very serious and unnecessary crisis between our two countries. But you need the whole NATO and EU behind you. That could cause a rift and very serious problems.
Yes, and I'll try to do all that I can. But another question I would like to discuss is next summit of NATO in Turkey.
Yes.
Because I will be there and President too. But what is your opinion now about situation about our case for NATO?
Are we talking about membership?
Yes.
Well, I don't see NATO ready to discuss full membership. I don't think that will be one of the decisions that will be made during the summit. To be frank, I think there is a lot of concern about the US position vis-a-vis NATO. So I think the key deliverable, in addition to some defense industry agreements, will be a political statement that NATO is united, that there is full support from the Americans. I think that is the priority for this summit. We will, of course, support Ukraine in any way we can, hoping that nothing will happen that will make us change our position, like an incident, as we discussed.
Yes, and if you also... Now we see a new step behind the EU membership. And of course, hopefully we want to understand that our allies will support us, but there are some countries who doesn't want to see us inside the EU, and it's, of course, it's sad.
The EU is another complicated matter, which is why you have proposals like the one made by Chancellor Merz about a special or conditional membership. And, again, frankly speaking, I think full membership would be opposed by some of the big EU member states. conditional membership might have a better chance. Also, I will be expecting from you a draft agreement on the drone deal so that we can examine the content, the conditions, and we can start discussing about signing a bilateral one.
Well, of course, but in general, what do you plan?
Look, we would like to sign an agreement to cover, the formal part, and then have a more detailed discussion at the operational level. We need to decide if you will send someone here or someone from our side will come to Ukraine and talk about the specifics. So we can do that at the same time, having a draft agreement to be negotiated and discussed, and then having some of our military and industry people talking with your side and deciding what should be the next steps concretely. Again, it's important we have open channels of communication so that we can discuss an incident. But again, at the same time, please talk to your side. Let's make sure that they don't do anything that will cause unnecessary problems.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Care.
It was good talking to you. You too. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you.